The Arrow series starring Stephen Amell kickstarted a bunch of other DC-based TV series such as The Flash, Batwoman, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow, and Black Lightning, which all came to be known as the Arrowverse. The TV show has been real fun, but what's more are the crossovers, and it seems another crossover is imminent. What Arrowverse crossovers have occurred in the past, and what crossover is likely to occur. Stay tuned as we dive into the Arrowverse. So what crossover was teased? Crossovers are very common events in a lot of franchises, and the same is similar for the Arrowverse. The franchise is basically made up of series that focus on DC comic characters. Spearheaded by Arrows in 2012, the franchise has expanded with other series joining it, with Titans and Stargirl confirmed to also be part of the Arrowverse franchise. The franchise doesn't seem as weak as it used to, and these two series aren't similar to the other spin-offs in the franchise in the sense that they occur in different timelines and on different Earths. Stargirl, for one, occurs on Earth 2, post-Crisis, while Titans also occurs after Crisis on Infinite Earths. Now, it seems a Stargirl and Titans crossover really is a possibility. Brec Bassinger, the actress who plays Stargirl, uploaded a BTS photo to Twitter, and that single pic has really made DC and Arrowverse fans unsure as to whether a crossover event will be happening or not. So who were in the pic? Well, the intriguing part of the pic is the presence of two different stars from different series. Of course, they're both based on DC characters, but I'm pretty sure they've got separate filming sets. Thus, what are the chances of two different series bumping into each other in costume? Bassinger had captioned the pic, "Oh my god, so crazy running into my friends in Toronto. Such a crazy coincidence." Crazy. What a coincidence indeed. Except it doesn't feel like one. This isn't the first time Arrowverse will feature a crossover, but this one kind of seems pretty exciting because it involves two series that have never been in a crossover. The pic had Brec Bassinger in Stargirl costume and Ryan Potter, aka Beast Boy from Titans, director Eric Dean Seaton and Jeff Johns, Stargirl showrunners. And since the release of the pic, fans have been raving about a crossover. Now, why are these speculations logical and why is a crossover imminent? Although the pic didn't outrightly state that a crossover is imminent, but come on, the two actors from two separate series look like they are actually filming on a set. And there is Bassinger in her full Stargirl costume, and right next to her you have Potter with his iconic green hair, peculiar to the Beast Boy. And so yes, it does seem like the two series might be linked up in one part or another. Still not convinced? Alright, let's say both actors were on their separate filming sets and just managed to stumble into each other while filming in distinctly separate locations. However, you can't fully dismiss a crossover because of the presence of Jeff Johns. The man is legit connected to the two series, and if a crossover is going to occur, it is logical because he has a great deal of knowledge of both series, all at the same time being the creator of Stargirl and being one of the writers and executive producers of Titans. What series is likely to feature the crossover? With the filming of Stargirl Season 3 fully wrapped, it's very unlikely the crossover will appear in the series. It seems the show survived the excessive film project cancellation launched by HBO Max earlier. In spite of no cancellation news, the series is still yet to renew for Season 4, so the viable option is Titans. Titans finished their fourth season recently on September 30th, 2022. With Titans Season 4 likely to be the set for the crossover, Bassinger might be a guest on the show, and the manner in which Bassinger will be introduced in the new Titans season is unknown, but we expect her to appear in an episode, or perhaps two if they're feeling generous. Speaking of crossovers, what crossovers have been featured in the Arrowverse? As expected, the very first crossover that occurred in the Arrowverse involved the oldest and longest running shows of the franchise, Team Arrow and Team Flash. Arrowverse's very first annual crossover featured in the 2014-2015 seasons for both series. The first part of their crossover was in the episode Flash vs. Arrow in The Flash. Meanwhile, the second part was featured in The Brave and the Bold in Arrow, and the crossover was pretty lit with both episodes airing for 2 nights. The first aired on December 2nd, 2014, while the second on December 3rd. Moving on from this, the next crossover was not so distant from the first one, and this crossover was not only important to franchise because fans wanted to see Arrow and the Flash on the same screen, but it also helped set up DC's Legends of Tomorrow. The character that later on featured in that series were introduced at that point. Like the first crossover, the events were aired over 2 nights, and the first one was shown in The Flash while the second was in Arrow. And the third annual crossover was more eventful and involved with more superheroes than the first two, and the first 2 crossovers were featured in just the Flash and Arrow series, but this was quite different. The events of the crossover spanned over 4 episodes subsequently, and these episodes aired on 4 consecutive nights. In this crossover, basically, the Earth was invaded by Dominators and Supergirl's help was needed to defeat them. This crossover is very similar to the previous one and features the same superheroes as the last: Supergirl, Arrow, Flash, and DC's Legends of Tomorrow. And the trigger of this event was actually a fun and wholesome event, not involving any shady criminals at first. Barry was getting married to Iris and used this opportunity to bring the gang together. Unfortunately, the happy occasion turned sour real quick, and they got attacked by villains from Earth X. Dark Arrow, Reverse Flash, Flash and Overgirl launched an attack alongside a Nazi doppelganger. The epic fight of this crossover was so lit. The next crossover event kind of followed up on the Who Are You of the Batwoman series. The crossover spanned over 3 series, The Flash, Arrow, and Supergirl. And this crossover was really lit because Oliver Queen and Barry Allen ended up swapping lives and living as each other with the other's powers. The next crossover involved Supergirl, DC's Legends of Tomorrow, The Flash, Arrow, and Batwoman. The epic crossover brought together heroes from different planets to battle the troublesome, godlike villain Anti-Monitor. The villain was bent on messing with reality, and the superheroes had no choice but to save the multiverse. Crisis on Infinite Earths spanned across 5 series, and it was really dazzling to see the ensemble. Unfortunately, Oliver Queen didn't survive the event, and he died for real this time with no chance of resurrection. In Armageddon, Flash sought the help of multiple heroes to battle Despero, and after that crossover, fans started to wonder if anyone would come up again. Technically, Armageddon wasn't even a crossover because Flash just brought back characters from the ended Supergirl and Black Lightning series. So the question now is, will this be the last crossover? Stargirl and Titans crossover does have potential, but till we receive more news, we'll keep on speculating about its possibility. However, the continuity of the franchise's iconic crossovers might be difficult because most of the OG shows have been wrapped up, with Supergirl, Batwoman, Arrow, Black Lightning, and DC's Legends of Tomorrow having reached their end. It'll be very hard to have fuller crossovers like the epic ensemble crossover Crisis on Infinite Earths. However, since the direction of the franchise is not ascertained, it might be too soon to conclude. Either easy, it will be really fun to have a Stargirl feature in Titans, and the Titans experience a darker world, so there's a high chance that they do not know what to do with a buddy character like Stargirl. Either way, it'll be fun to watch them try. And lastly, what to expect from Season 4 of Titans. Members of the cast have pretty much given fans a hint on what to expect with the set photos. Some of them affirm that the Titans will indeed move from Gotham to Bloodhaven. Know what this means? This will allow the series to focus more on telling Nightwing, aka Dick Grayson's story. The new season will trail the story of the Church of Blood, which is a supernatural cult led by Brother Blood, who will be played by Joseph Morgan. Despite the darker themes secluded for Season 4, the show will have the much anticipated and long-awaited romance fans have always wanted between Nightwing and Starfire. With the introduction of iconic villains for the new season, Titan appears to be on its way to releasing the best season yet with its bigger story arc. This season absolutely needs to be good because as much as Titans is loved by fans, its past season have generally been hit or miss. And good thing we might get to see fans' favorite Stargirl. And that ends today's video. Do you think Bassinger was really testing a crossover? Let us know what you think down below.